Last match.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
I appreciate it.
I had a chance to commentate on that with my friend Marty, who's now playing.
Oh, awesome. Well, I appreciate the commentary. That was a nail biter towards the end.
Yeah,
Made a couple mistakes there, and was kind of a little nervous too. So
we saw that, and in fact, the 9-ball you made at the end was a little bit of a right hand corner pocket.
Yeah.
Dead end, so it was good that you sure felt good when it did drop.
I did, definitely.
Knowing that you missed the 1-9 that caused you for going from 4-0 to basically 4-4.
Yep.
When you missed that 9-ball, you didn't get on that. You had other options of shooting that 7 different ways to get on the 9. You chose to draw it over, and you stayed on the rail many diamonds away.
Yeah, I know. But, and I was thinking of drawing over to the long rail to swing around 2 rails on that 7. But then I thought I'd just kind of punch off the rail, and then I got too straight and let up on my stroke on the draw. So, yeah, that was definitely the turning point for him to come back into the match.
It was, and kudos to him for even keeping himself in the match like that. When, in fact, a very fast player like Jeff is, and he's got to watch a guy that takes so much time on every shot.
Yeah,
by the way, there's no negative towards that at all.
Yeah.
But it can be for the person who's sitting in the chair.
Well, and that's something I'm trying to work on, because I do want to play faster, but when I find myself in the situation and I don't want to dog a ball I shouldn't or miss an easy shot, I tend to put a little more effort into it, and I do find myself playing slow sometimes. So that's something I got to work on.
From a guy who's developed a lot of champions and I played at that fairly high level for a long time.
Yeah,
I can tell you that you're doing everything right.
Okay.
And that I would recommend, if I was your coach, to continue doing what you're doing, get better and better at all those skills that you are developing. To make sure of everything. So when you find you're getting a little weak on something, this type of style that you've got it allows you to realize that you're weak on this thing, and then you know what to go and practice.
Yeah.
So, but each of those little things that you've got are skills to continue to develop, and I see if you do keep doing that you will. It could be a very short time, get to that 700 range in Fargo.
I really appreciate you saying that.
No problem. That'll be $500, please.
Okay. Yeah, when I was playing in the U.S. Open, then they had that 40-second shot clock. I felt like that really helped my game, and I actually played really well against a couple, good players. But yeah, I've kind of found myself falling back into that slower pace, and so I need to practice, getting away from that a little bit, but.
Well, listen, you look back on the Johnny Archers and the Nick Varners. Now, Johnny wasn't ever as slow as Nick, but Nick was very slow.
Yeah.
So was many other great players. And when we had a shot clock on the Pro Tour, they just adapted to it, but still made great decisions.
Yeah.
So you can do the same thing. And so it's just about. I think that to make sure you never make a bad choice, because you're able to keep looking to find the right options, or all your options. Is a very important thing. I felt that you made a few bad choices. But that it was just because you need to get better at that, how to see all the options that are in front of you. You just didn't see them. And I shouldn't even say bad choices. That you probably. What I mean is, you probably would have made a different choice if you had seen the other option. But you just didn't see it.
Yeah, for sure.
And safeties especially. But you did make some really good safety choices. A couple of them that you came up short with.
Yeah, I didn't execute them.
But that you did make good decisions on them, as far as I was concerned.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate all the feedback, and I'll probably go back and watch the match and try to see where I can improve.
I highly recommend that you always purchase every single.
I would love to
match. Who purchases every single match? That's right. I don't even have to tell her; she knows ahead of time that I'm going to. So that I'm 65 years old and I've already had a career playing as a pro, but that doesn't stop me from still wanting to get better and better.
Of course. Yeah, I really respect that about your game. I can tell you're always striving to be even better, and that's what it takes to compete at the high level, that you do. So.
Well, thank you. What people don't realize is, if you do stop playing for a while or not play as much, you got to do it all.
Yeah.
You know, those habits that you've got, sure, are still more what you, but you're going to make some sloppy mistakes, and that's when, like my last tournament, I won all my matches 7-2, 7-1, 7-0, 7-0, 7-0, 7-0.
Yeah.
But I lost 2 matches that I played terrible at.
Yeah.
So it's those matches that I'm talking about, because instead of being really close
Yeah.
to my bad being really close to my great,
Yeah.
it's not as much anymore when I'm not playing.
Yeah.
If I'm not playing all the time. And that's going to go for everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you're going to be playing in a tournament, even though you already feel you're playing good, it's a good idea to just get up and play a lot more for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Those first 2 weeks, or last 2 weeks before a tournament are very important.
Yeah, I'm still learning to, how to conquer like the before the tournament aspect, and the mental side of it and preparing myself.
Well, do what you're doing there in practice.
Okay.
So practice the way you want to play and play like you practice.
Yeah.
That is the best line that I can give you. I've given it to all my students.
Yeah.
So if you're doing one thing different in practice than you're actually going to do in play, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to develop habits, right?
Yep, that makes sense. Well, it looks like Wade took a 1-0 lead in this match against Marty.
Well, that was so you see, doing what you and I do there and making sure that we really see the lines before just getting up and shooting a shot.
Yeah.
You see all the options of what can happen. Will allow him, Wade, to not have maybe missed that shot.
Yeah.
Instead, he got up very quickly. It was makeable.
Yeah.
But he got up very quickly and missed the shot. Now, he's fortunate because Marty doesn't really have a lot to do here with the 3.
Yeah.
But he is left-handed, so he could draw this all the way back to the back rail, and then he's in control of what to do with that 3.
Yeah, he can nestle up against the 5 and put the 3, in the middle of the table or down
Closer
table.
he gets to that 3, and the more of the 3 he can see, the more he can do. He can control it. So yes.
Yeah, it's amazing in this winter break format.
Too hard.
Oh.
Too hard.
Looks like he might be kicking at this ball or thinning off it here. In this winter break format, it's just, one mistake can really cost you.
Sure.
And, playing in this tournament over the years, the last couple of years, I've really realized that, like going against good players and you think you're in the match and then, just one mistake and you lost the match. And
well, look
that's
at Jeff.
Not a good feeling.
He won the leg by a hair.
Yeah.
Broke and made a ball and had a shot at the 1.
Yeah.
And had many different options of what to do. He just got a little sloppy on it. Took a chance and ended up scratching and giving you an easy 2-9.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy not to have played. You had to play that.
Of course.
And then next thing you know, you're up 4-0 and the guy's sitting in his chair. So it was really very great from my perspective as a coach and as a commentator to see Jeff come up and play great from that.
I was very impressed with him, and he was also down 7-4 and then he had a chance to go up 8-7 on me. So, he had 2 really good comebacks in the match that, I like his game and he's very consistent. It's fun to watch him play. So. Yeah,
he's more like the Earl Strickland type of a fly by the seat of your pants, and but can get the cue ball to do whatever he wants it to do, and doesn't miss much. And he's fun to watch.
Looks like he's going to kick 2 rails behind this ball, try to create some separation.
So that was one of those situations where you don't want to hit the ball as hard as he hit it. A lot of times when the object ball is far off a rail where you can't really guarantee you're going to be able to play a really good safety, you want to hit the balls harder. However, in that situation, he needed to hit that ball about half that speed because a lot of good things could happen because of where the 6, 7, and 8 are over there. But you got to be able to put yourself in these situations a lot where you think all these things. In other words, you make a habit of thinking of all the possibilities before you can even then determine how hard to hit the ball. Or
Absolutely.
why to hit the ball hard or soft. And as I was saying when we were commentating on your match, when you are far away from the rail, the object ball is, and you want to hit the ball, you want to make sure you hit it, and you want to get a rail, oftentimes the best option is hit it really hard. Because a lot of good things could happen or bad things. More good things that could happen than bad, actually, most of the time. But in that particular case, that was one of those, because of where those balls were, that you don't want to hit it quite that
quite
hard.
the hard. Yeah, that makes sense.
But a person who doesn't think like that,
Yeah.
doesn't look at all those things, is not
Yeah.
even going to see it, let alone do it right.
Yeah, and I think one thing that really helped me is, for a while I would just kick and try to hit the ball and, hope something good would happen. And like kicking with intention really changed, the
Good.
results of all my kicks. And
Sure.
yeah, like you said, thinking about what exactly is going to happen is.
What are all the good things that can happen if I hit it over here? What are all the bad things that can happen? How about speed? How about this? Speed is the second most important thing next to hitting the ball.
Yeah.
What speed am I hitting it at is more important than what angle I'm hitting at in most of the cases.
Yeah.
Not always. There are situations where the angle is definitely more important, but most of the time it's speed.
Yeah. What would you do in this situation?
I can't tell for sure, but
Yeah.
I think he can make this ball at top spin and miss the corner pocket and just come off 2 rails for the 8 ball to just come out by the side pocket here. But it looks like he's jacking up for this. It doesn't.
He wants to avoid that 9 ball.
Well, he might be wanting to avoid the corner pocket. I can't
that's
tell.
true. Well, he
Right.
hit it pretty good.
He basically was doing what I was just saying, but wanted to make sure he doesn't scratch. Well, you saw he hit the diamond, so he wasn't going to scratch with just topspin either.
Yeah.
But you really want to come past the side.
Yeah.
Or if you're not past the side, at least leave yourself more.
A little more angle, yeah.
Although this isn't that bad.
Yeah, he's got to let his stroke out a little bit, but
Focus on coming past the side pocket, but just barely.
Yeah.
So that's the speed that you want to be thinking about.
Yeah, you want to make sure you stay on that high side of the 9 because, a player like Marty, he's going to make 90% of those shots where he's above the 9, cutting it downward. But the second you start flirting with the 50-yard line, then
Perfect.
Yeah,
Although
that was a great shot.
I was surprised that he did that because he's left-handed. So
Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't go on the other side with a little bit of inside English.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the inside English is floating with it rather than killing it against the rail with the right English. Right?
Yeah.
But he felt it, and that was important.
Nice out.
Yeah.
Well, so far, they're both playing pretty steady. Both really good players. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm back up. Now, racking the balls is another thing that, see, just because it's a magic rack doesn't mean that you don't need to touch and go around and make sure, because you can really give yourself a bad rack with a magic rack.
Absolutely.
Either by twisting it a little bit and not being perfectly straight, just a little bit off can really make a difference. So whether that wing ball and the 1 ball are going to go in, as you noticed later on in your match. Earlier, you were making the wing and the 1 ball.
Yeah.
Perfect, nice half speed, if that, no English on the ball, and you're getting a shot, and that's how you ran the 4 racks.
Yeah.
And then Jeff got up to do the same thing, but he wasn't touching the balls.
I know.
He just put them up there, and balls didn't go anywhere near the same.
Yeah, he ended up breaking dry actually a couple times.
Yes, at the beginning, and then
and
then he started touching the balls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important also, realizing where that 1 ball is going because you can, lay down a good break and make a ball all day, but if you're not controlling that 1 ball, you might as well just be breaking dry and hoping that something, that you leave them tough or something like that. At least you have control of the table when you make a ball, but.
Well, and there's good and bad about putting that 2 ball in the back for the player. So the bad part is you don't know where that ball is going to go. The good part is that there is some consistency if you break a consistent way, so you will be able to find out on this rail, on this table, with this rack, how you hit it a certain way, where that 2 ball is going to go. So if you're making the 1 ball on the side and the wing ball, then you can kind of control at least what angle where your cue ball is going to be in the middle of the table, and therefore where that 2 ball is going to be as well.
Yeah, the break really has become a science these days, and you're not doing yourself justice if you don't put at least a little effort to learn different breaks.
Exactly right. That's why I always check the rack when someone's racking for me, not because of them.
Yeah.
It's not about them. It's just about I want to know what I'm breaking or not breaking.
Yeah.
In other words, oh, please, would you, these 1 ball is on island of its own. Could you please,
Yeah,
tie
exactly.
it up? Or it's not frozen to one side of the one ball, it's frozen the other, then I'll know where to break from. And sometimes if I'm not making the ball on the break, or I'm not making the ball on the break when it's frozen, maybe when he's not freezing it for me, it's better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people look at, when you're checking the rack, they look at it as like a jab at them or something, and yeah, it's
You
not the
can't
case at
control
all.
them. You can't control it. What I do say if I'm gambling with somebody is I tell them at the beginning, first of all, I always check the rack, and I never give the 9 ball.
Yeah,
If you're okay with that, we can play. If you're
yeah,
not, well, then we won't play.
yeah. I like that a
In
lot,
a
actually.
tournament, well, same thing. I'll just say to them, I always check the rack and I never give the 9 ball. If
Yeah.
you give it, I'm not going to argue with you, but I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah, and in that match, I normally do the same thing, and I kind of make it a point that I'll let you shoot the 9, and it's not like I don't respect you or anything, but he gave me a 9 there, and then I kind of almost felt obligated at one point to give him
That's the
one that by the
problem.
side, and yeah, I know
If you're
it's
never,
tough.
ever, and I never have in my whole life, never
Yeah.
since I started playing 9 ball, have I ever
Nice.
given the 9 ball.
Yeah.
So it's simple.
Yeah.
It's not you for sure.
Yeah, then people know that about you, and they're not thinking anything of it.
Well, they still might, but that's their issue at that point.
Yeah.
I can't control that.
I mean, we've seen how many straight in 9s have been missed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, can change the whole match.
Well, it's also a sharking. We had on the pro tour as you lost another game if you give the 9 ball.
Oh, okay.
You give the game, you lose another game, and you get a warning. If you do it again, you lose the set.
Oh wow.
We
Okay.
had that in the early 90s on the pro tour.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Because it was a sharking technique, and guys just you haven't even made a ball yet.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people give away, 2, 3 balls, and then you're not letting the guy get in stroke, and that can be seen as a sharking technique too.
Exactly. Or I gave you this ball, but I'm not going to give you that ball.
Yeah,
now.
and then they're
now
thinking,
you're
what the heck?
How come you didn't give me this ball? You gave me the left.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy stuff.
Well, Wade made a great shot before that 2 ball, and then he jarred it. So Marty's got a little rail first kick here.
And if he hits it hard enough to come back up table, he's got an easy 4-9 combo.
Yep.
Depending on the angle he's got, how far his ball is, but he
Yeah.
should definitely get up there. That's good speed.
Yeah, he's running into it, but
It's all right, though.
Yeah, he turned out okay.
Yeah, it's fine. He's going to be out.
Yeah, how do you deal with when you got the 9 ball next to, one of your next object balls, and then, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to combo this 9, and then maybe something goes awry, and now you got to run the rack out. Do you ever struggle with that, or did you ever struggle with that mentally? Like, oh, shoot, now I have to run this out, and maybe it's not going to be as easy as it was.
I know exactly what it is you're talking about, and I mean, rather than the words you're saying,
Yeah.
I know the meaning here, and yes, it was something obviously I struggled with that type of an issue years ago, but habits that I developed made it that none of those things were going to be a problem for me anymore because of things like what you are doing now, which is look for all the options you've got. Here it is now. It doesn't matter what it was I wanted to do, what position I did want to get on, that's gone.
Yeah.
What it is right here. This is perfect. The table is saying, here, I'm giving you this is what do you call that? A riddle.
Yeah.
Riddle me this. Here's your situation. Let's see if you can figure out all the options and then make a good decision and then make a good shot with it. There you go. This is what. Look at pool that way. Like that's what.
I like that.
That's what every shot is for you, and then you're not going to have that issue anymore because it's
Yeah.
always about now, not about the past.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and I used to kind of get upset if I got hooked on a ball or, made a little mistake, position error, but I've really made it a point now to not show any emotion or not show that I'm upset about it and just immediately move on to what I have to do now, like you're talking about, and it really does help,
Absolutely. Now, talking about, letting it bother you and getting that energy, that negative energy in your system, we were talking about that a little bit in your match, and
Yeah.
that is, it's if you have this negative energy because you made a mistake or something bad happened, somebody got lucky or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
that energy is there. So what you got to do is you got to kind of change it around channel it into a commitment
Yeah.
of perfection, and just change that energy. It's energy. It's
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
Turn it into something that's going to help you perform better.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so much try to ignore it, just like
Well, you can't.
acknowledge
It's
it.
there.
Yeah.
It's like
Realize it.
it's like you can't ignore the lighting that you've got. It's there,
Yeah.
and if it's not the best lighting that you like, you can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna lose this match because I can't stand this lighting." Well,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't be playing the tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe it is bad. Maybe you shouldn't be playing the tournament at all, and they should fix those lights or whatever it is. But if you're in the tournament, you're playing on that table,
Yeah.
then you got to adjust to that lighting the best way you can. Perform as good as you can in spite of the issue you've got.
Yeah.
I used lighting as an example, but it
Yeah.
could be
No, that's a
anything.
great example. And that's a
It's
great
not easy to
attitude to
do.
have.
It's not
No,
easy to do.
definitely not.
And I can't say that I'm 100%, successful at that.
Yeah.
But I'm more successful than most other people.
Of course, because you're practicing it, which
Right.
that's the first step.
And that's one of those things that if I'm not playing a lot, then I might not have been practicing. And so maybe I'll get caught letting my emotions bother me
Yeah.
because I haven't been playing enough to have got myself connected with
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Well, he's got a couple issues to tackle in this rack. The 5-6 is a little funky, and the 2,
Probably
I don't
been
know if
breaking
the 2,
a little bit hard, hasn't
Yeah,
Maybe
he
the
has.
balls are moving in different places and not getting as nice as if you'd have been hitting them softer.
Yeah, and he's using a little low left on that cue ball, which is causing it to, fly up table a little bit. But I'm sure he'll recognize that in the next couple breaks.
Well, I'm surprised he's doing it at all, considering he was here watching this match with me,
Yeah.
the match you were doing, and we were commenting on the speed of the break. So it's a little bit of a surprise to me that he's chosen to hit him harder
Yeah.
without as much control of the cue ball as well.
So if the 2 doesn't go here, are you attempting to break it out with a little high inside?
If I can break it out, I would do that. If I can't break it out, I'm going to come underneath it and either bank it or snooker my opponent by freezing the cue ball up on the 4 ball while I knock the 2 ball away.
Nice.
I
what he does
often
here.
play. See, I wouldn't be on that side unless it might go.
It might,
but,
yeah.
But I often play position for a snooker.
Yeah.
Make my ball to play.
Yeah.
I mean, often, way more often than the average person for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you're going to win a lot of games that you wouldn't otherwise if you have that mentality where
A
you're
lot
like,
of matches and a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
So here the important thing is about where the cue ball is going to be more than what you're going to be doing with the 2 ball. So getting the cue ball to end up on the back rail where the 4 ball maybe, or the 2 ball goes all the way to the other back rail is something that could be done. So you got to think about that. Sometimes a lot of players are always thinking about, okay, I got to snooker a guy. I got to snooker a guy. Well, you don't really have to snooker them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can snooker them if you can. If you're not going to, by missing it, then sell them out.
Yeah.
Or just put both balls in a position where he's got nothing easy there.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Distance.
right, a lot of distance, and leaving the cue ball on a rail oftentimes is good. And this is what he's trying to do.
That's
It's
not a
very
bad
good.
shot.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Really good. Because he's got the 5 ball and the 6 ball to block the 2 ball from doing anything. It's good speed because he got past his side pocket. He wanted to put the cue ball on the rail, but it's still difficult by being that close to the rail.
Yeah.
So,
And now Wade has actually a pretty challenging decision to make as far as what to do here.
and he should be taking more time than this in order to
I agree.
come up with that edge.
Yeah.
So even if you were fast and furious like Jeff, these situations you would need to be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So he made a decision. It looks like he was the genius, that the combination.
Yeah.
But he didn't get a shot in the 2 ball after. And what if he had missed the combination?
Yeah.
And how easy was it, or even that safety was really not well thought out.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I mean, really, he's the 676 and Marty's a 544. Of
Yeah.
course,
You wouldn't have guessed that.
Marty's no 544.
No, yeah, exactly. I played Marty in the qualifier, and after the match, somebody told me he was a 544, and I'm thinking, no way. I mean, he was playing textbook pool, throughout the match for a lot of the time. So.
Yeah, we're best buddies.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Marty, when he lived in Florida, came up to study with me with pool a couple of times. Flew all the way up to Vancouver.
Yeah. And
Back
he
in
hit
the
that well.
early 2000, 2001, 2002.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell he's utilizing that visualization on every shot.
He plays good one pocket too.
Does he?
So in order to do that, you got to be thinking good.
Yeah.
In order to think good, you got to have a process that you go through. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's all about processes. Processes that help you work on certain little things that develop habits, develop skills.
Yeah.
That make you stronger and stronger. All about the little things. And that cue he's got, that's a Daru.
A Daru?
It looks from far away exactly like mine, but mine's a little bit different. Mine's the same look, but different wood, a few other things, different things. I've got rhinestones and silver in mine, and Coca-Cola, and
oh, that's awesome.
All that. Mine's double the price, but it's exactly the same cue.
Oh, really?
Same
yeah, it's a beautiful cue.
It is. Same hit, everything.
Is it a low deflection shaft?
Low deflection shaft, a Daru low deflection shaft.
Oh, okay.
Really good. Very, very well done.
I've never heard of Daru before. I'll have to research them a little bit.
You can ask me. I'm his basically player or rep, if you
want
to call that.
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at your cue if
sure.
we get a minute.
I think he's the best cue maker in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
In snooker, he is by far the most famous one right now in China and Hong Kong. But he only makes 100 cues a year, so that's it.
Wow. That's high demand right there.
I go to China every year now because of the Chinese 8-ball, and I've met some other cue makers.
Yeah.
And I found that they've told me that his cues are revered, but they say they're too expensive. And I say, what do you mean too expensive?
Yeah.
Well, when they get to China, they're multiplied by 5 to 10 times the amount.
Yeah.
Minimum 5 times the amount.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. So he sells them to them.
Yeah.
At the same price he'll sell it to you and everybody else. Mm-hmm. So there's no dealer that gets a dealer price.
Oh, okay.
But then they mark it up 5 to 10 times.
That's wow.
And they're gone before they are even shipped there. In other words, they're already sold before they ever get to China.
So he's just built an amazing reputation.
And that's all he'll do is, that's
really
all he'll
cool.
make is 100 cues a year. That's it. He makes it out of his home. He's got a few different rooms. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cue making really is an art, and it's kind of getting lost on a lot of people these days with, all the production cues that are becoming so popular. But when you see a really well-made cue, it's a whole different feeling playing with one.
And this, when I say he makes the best cue in the world, I'm not saying he makes the best looking cue in the world. I'm saying he makes the best playing cue.
Oh, really?
And I can go over every little detail,
That's
of his
awesome.
cue to explain why this is better than most others. And after it all, this is a great playing cue. Why does it hit so well? Because of this, and this.
Yeah.
So again, he's hitting him a little bit wilder than we would like, right?
Yeah, he's almost cutting him a little bit.
And harder.
Yeah.
And the white ball, you're not going to be able to know where the cue ball is going to be going or finishing.
Yeah.
And same thing with the 1 ball or the 2 ball. So this is asking a little bit too much to luck. Back in the day when we were breaking really hard on the 9 ball because we were racking them without a good rack, and the spots and the holes and in the cloth. I don't mean holes as in visible holes, but as in the indentations. So the balls are sitting differently. So guys got the better breakers were the ones who are hitting them really hard. I mean, even today, Shane Van Boning hits them super hard, but super controlled.
Really does.
But he's controlled. And so he just hits them at a much faster pace, but with the same control that you and I have.
Yeah. and he's hitting the cue ball in such a precise, exactly where he wants to hit it.
That's right. Same thing with Oscar Dominguez. He hits him like that as well.
I love Oscar's 10-ball break. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, he beat me in Portland at Sam's last year in the 10-ball event.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, that table had a little bit of a roll, so I was doing fine, and then a ball rolled out on me, and then, Oscar's there and breaking, and you may not get to shoot again for a while. So.
Yeah, I really love Oscar's approach to the game. He's taught me a ton about, fundamentals and little tips and tricks he uses to, be more consistent. And that's what it takes, knowing all the little things that most people don't know.
Or even think about, or even realize that it's important to know.
Yeah.
So on that shot here with Marty, what I saw was that it seemed to be he was in slight denial about what the cue ball was going to do when he made the 2.
Yeah.
Because it went into the 8. He didn't have control over it. And that ends up having an effect on your ability to even pocket the ball. And that's when you miss the ball as well. So sometimes it's important that even this is what you want to do, you got to step back and go, okay, forget about what I want to do. Let's look at all the options again. Let's get that want to do out of my system.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's the right shot that I should do. It doesn't mean that it is yet. Let's look at all the things that I can do. Right?
Absolutely.
So as good a player as Wade is, he's making these errors. Maybe because when he's playing his buddies and he's playing, he doesn't make these errors. He makes everything and everything's fine.
Yeah.
But he's got to stop when he misses and get to his chair, and it's not the same flow and ebb that normally happens when he's playing. So he's going to make these mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he could maybe take a little more time, maybe walking around the table, seeing where he wants to get exactly, and not exactly, but just getting his body moving a little bit.
So he was fortunate to leave Marty in that position.
Yeah.
Right, and then also now get Marty giving him an easier shot than he just left Marty.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can get away with it that way. And a lot of players of, the low 600s and below, well, that's how they play pool.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to punish them so bad when they make a mistake.
Yeah.
But that's also why a Brady Bowen wins this tournament 11 times.
Yeah.
Because he's not making those mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about this actually yesterday, how a lot of times when you're just starting out, you're almost hoping for your opponent to make a mistake. And like the higher you get and the more your game becomes more accomplished, it's almost like, okay, he's going to run this rack out, and you've accepted that, and you're just waiting for your next opportunity, and that's what your focus is, and not hoping he misses. And
right.
Then,
Right. How you're thinking it. So, and again, while you guys were playing, I was talking a little bit about that chair. It's a matter of perspective. It's also a matter of a mindset.
Yeah.
Practice too. Like I practice using the chair as my coach's corner.
Oh, really?
So I reflect and make myself stronger when I get back to the table than I was when I left the table.
I like that.
So if that is your goal, so then your tool is the chair.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in that chair and doing anything other than that, other than trying to reach your goal by being better. Your thoughts are everything. So if your thoughts are coming in where they are basically punishing yourself and you're losing your confidence and losing your desire.
Yeah.
Well, you are going to be less of yourself when you get back to the table.
Man, that's a really good perspective. I didn't even think about it that way.
And the two things that are most important in being able to perform at your best are your confidence level and your desire level.
Yeah.
So if your thoughts are creating this feeling inside where you're losing your confidence and losing your desire, you are sabotaging yourself.
Yeah.
But you can do exactly the opposite of increasing your confidence and increasing your desire.
Yeah.
By the same thing, your thoughts.
Yeah. That's huge. Everybody listening should really try to put that into their, pocketbook and utilize that if they can, because that's very insightful.
Did you know that I have a coaching app on iPhone?
I did, yeah, I do. You showed it to me a little
It's
while
all on
ago.
that. All that stuff is on there.
What's it called?
It's called the Pocket Billiards Coach.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
And it's on only iPhone.
iOS?
Only iOS, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It's free to download, free to read,
Yeah.
and for one in-app purchase of $4 one time forever, that's it, you get all the voice recordings like this.
Really?
And you also get all the videos.
Oh, wow. That's a really good deal.
And I have a section there in the other that is about the thoughts to have to get yourself ready to go and play in a tournament. So you're driving to the tournament, or you're just sitting waiting.
Yeah.
There's a if you purchased the $4 one, you
Yeah.
have this this other area where you can listen to a what do you call that on what Apple does it where it's a playlist. So it's a playlist, so you can listen to all the things that you should be thinking about.
Yeah.
Programming your brain, your conscious and subconscious, prior to playing a match.
Nice. Yeah, that's huge. I used to come to tournaments and just kind of, sit around waiting for my match, and recently I've been kind of doing something similar to that. I'll maybe go for a walk or go sit down somewhere quiet and, close my eyes and just do some visualization and, work out some scenarios that might happen and just go through them in my mind. And,
excellent.
And do some deep breathing. And, then when I get to the match and something might go wrong, it's almost like I've already experienced it in some way.
Right. You already have a plan of action, what to do, what to think.
Yeah.
When that happens, so that you can be the best you can be. Absolutely. Yeah. It's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's programming.
Yep.
You want to have all the things happening to you program you, or do you want to be programming yourself for success?
Yeah.
It's up to you. The easy way, the lazy way, is to let whatever's happening control what you're thinking and how you're going to be. Sure, that's the easy way out. And it's also a habit that we have to do that. But if you really want to be great, you have to be in control over your successes and your failures.
And this game really is mostly mental, to a certain point.
Mental and emotional.
Well, we've been talking. Marty's been dealing with this rack. Yep. He's got a nice little position shot here. Probably try to draw on the other side of the 9, right? Or would you try to go in between?
Well, again, I would have to see the exact angle here to tell what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I can oftentimes here just go right on the rail, right by the 8 ball, between the 8 and the 9.
Yeah.
And if I don't quite get to the rail, I'm still going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because of where the 7 ball is, it allows for that. To try and get it on the rail past the 9 ball is a little dangerous.
It's a little risky, right? Yeah.
But also to do this is good too. So if he's as thick as he was, you can get that back up here. That's fine too, because all you have to do actually is make this 8.
Yep. And position's just built in.
You can then make the 9. So it's okay, especially on these pretty large pockets.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah,
Chinese
they are.
8 ball pocket, you don't want to shoot this shot.
No.
You play position for the bank.
Yeah, you would never try to cut this one.
Although Yubo and Yang Fan, they shoot these in like nothing.
Yubo is incredible. Both of them are, but
he's probably going to make somewhere around $500,000 this year, Yubo.
Is he really? Wow, yeah, that Chinese 8 ball really is the future. Nice
I know of $300,000 that he made already. That was early in the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He won the World Chinese 8 ball World Championships. I was there. He then had a match, televised match, a challenge match against Mick Hill from England. That the winner was going to get $100,000, and the loser would get $50,000.
Wow!
And he beat Mick for the $100,000, and then he won another tournament for $100,000. So
yeah, didn't he play Jason Shaw?
Could be.
I think he played a challenge match against Jason Shaw.
That's probably going to be another $100,000.
Yeah. And I think it was 9 ball on one of those tables, but yeah.
Well, that's what they do in China is they gamble with 9 ball on
really?
Chinese 8 ball tables. Oh yeah, you go into and they gamble for thousands.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. My friend Co-RT. Nice
Oh,
kid.
I know him.
I
Yeah.
love that kid. I love that guy. He loves it. It's funny how whenever I go to the event, he always comes flying at me
Nice.
and then asks me, he wants to show me something on the pool table. How was this? How you like this?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's great.
That's really cool.
He's awesome.
And he's a very solid player too.
Very solid player.
What do you attribute the fact that there hasn't really been a lot of success with, maybe American players and even too many European players as far as the Chinese 8-ball goes?
Well,
You've
it's
had a
funny you
couple
said
guys,
that because
but-
really the very first Chinese 8-ball World Championships was won by Darren Appleton, who hadn't played any Chinese 8-ball. Really.
Oh, really?
An English player who plays all the pool games.
Yeah.
And second place was Mark Selby, who never hit a Chinese 8-ball
Wow.
ball on a Chinese 8-ball table prior to getting there, and was right into stage 2. Because of his ranking in snooker.
Of course.
And Neil Robertson finished third, and he'd never hit a ball on a
Okay,
Chinese
well,
8-ball table. So
I stand corrected there.
that's how fabulous these guys are.
Yeah.
And then Chris Melling as well finished second twice.
Yeah.
Other than that, and Mick Hill finished second once. And they play great,
Yeah.
Chinese 8-ball. Other than that, it's because the Chinese are playing that every day, all day long. The top players, that's what they do for a living. They get sponsorship.
Yeah.
They're making decent money, these guys.
Yeah,
They're
playing
making
that
what
game.
we've always wanted to make in pool.
Yeah.
And I'm there a lot. And I'm also the one who does the inviting for North Americans to go to China.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have that honor.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was talking to Toshi and Danny yesterday, and they were
Danny's come
saying,
with me 4 times now, I think. Marty's come twice.
They were saying they're going in March, and
Yeah.
how good of an experience it is for your game to go.
That's a good. So what he had there is he was trying to put that cue ball behind the 3 or frozen up to the 3.
Yeah.
And put the one ball where he put it or past where he put it there onto the rail. That was very well done, very well thought out. That's a one pocket kind of a thought,
Yeah.
He's, and he plays one pocket very well.
He's kicking from behind.
We don't ever gamble because he doesn't gamble. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we would play $10 a game or something like I would do with Dan Louis or anybody else. But
Yeah.
because I think it's very important. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But he plays very close to my level.
Really?
So,
I could see it, yeah. I mean, he moves the ball really good, or really well, I should say. Yeah, well, this rack is, depending on if that 4 goes by the 5, it's really just the position from the 3 to the 4.
I think, that 3 goes. So if this is as straight as it looks, he just rolls about a foot. Goes about a foot forward, which is easy to control that. It's a really easy distance on his cloth right now.
Yep.
So that's about a foot and a half. That's fine. And now the same thing. He's gonna have to miss the 8, but he can miss the 8 and miss this pocket and go right into the 4.
Oh, I like
if
that.
it doesn't go.
Yep.
And then cause a lot of some stuff to happen because he can't go on the other side of it. But
Yeah.
he can't hit the 9 ball here, but he can hit the 4 or the 5.
Yep.
I like hitting the 5 ball here more than the 4. But one of them, because you're not going to get much if you don't. I mean, he might play a combination otherwise. I don't know, but this is the shot right here. Oh, and he hit the 9. Wow, that's because he just almost scratched in the side. Well, that was a great shot. So there was 2 different ways of playing that shot that I could see. One was the way he played it, which was very well done because you had to get that 4 ball to the rail. The other was to go off the rail and get behind the 5.
Yeah.
But he did that so well. It was great. And that's, again, from a one pocket player to be able to control 2 balls that are close together like that in such a way that you still get the rail.
Yeah, that's a huge asset. So
Now,
here, do you try to thin it into the 8 with inside and
cut
go
the
down
8
by the 5?
with inside or outside, depending on how I want to come off this second rail or even off the rail. Because I think I like coming out the second rail here.
Okay.
Behind the 9.
Yeah.
So hit it thin with a little bit of outside English, left English.
Yep.
Okay, run into the 8 ball. Off this rail right behind the 9 ball.
Okay. I like it.
He looks like he's going inside English. Doesn't hit it as hard that way, but it's harder to control what the cue ball is going to do.
Yeah, he might end up behind the 5. Well, he definitely created distance, so that's a good thing.
Yes. He might have just thought, okay, well, he might have been considering the 9 as well, going off 2 rails, but thought that he had to hit the 4 ball too hard and it might come out.
Yeah.
That's hit that ball good, but if you'd given it a little bit more thought, a little bit more accurate. Oh, well, he left it tough. He has been leaving. He's been missing and leaving it tough for Marty.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's so easy for us to start going, geez, man, the pool gods are hating me today. It's all, I get nothing but bad rolls. Mm-hmm. And it's true, but, well, you want to keep slapping yourself around, and now you're going to have an excuse for losing the match.
Yeah.
Well, I hate having excuses for losing the match.
I know. It's the worst. I think everybody does it, but you catch yourself sometimes and you go, oh, yeah. I mean, I made mistakes too, and even though he hooked me after missing, I probably got away with a couple things too. So.
And even if you didn't, it's not going to help you by thinking that way.
Yeah, and it's kind of out of your control.
That's right.
It looks like he's drawn behind the 8 here.
Yes, I like that.
That's a really good shot.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's very well done too. Again, that's that touch feel with 2 balls that are close, the cue ball and the object ball.
Yeah.
And then how to get the cue ball exactly where you want to from that. The object ball is secondary actually to that, but
yeah,
because you don't really want it to put it over the pocket like this. So this putting it over the pocket gives him a chance to actually make this now, not just hit it.
And he hit it really well done.
Very, very good. Good speed. Everything was good there.
Yeah, he left him a bank, but better than leaving it in front of the pocket.
I think that's me.
You're up. All right, guys. Paul had to go play a match, so I'm going to be joined by Steve Lingelbach. He's going to finish out commentary with me on this match. How's it going, Steve?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Pretty good. So you're still waiting to play today?
Yep. So who's ahead in this match?
Marty's ahead right now. He's been playing pretty technically sound. And Wade's just made a few errors, uncharacteristic, but looks like he's well on his way to running this one out.
Yeah, there's not much left to do here. Get decent angle on that 8 and swing around for the 9. All you care right now is just the angle for that 9 ball.
Yeah. So where he's at now, are you drawing and going 2 rails or just following down?
Just a high ball, a little bit of high left and swing past this side pocket towards this chalk over here, right over where that little chalk is, and he just needed to hit it a little bit harder is all.
Yeah, he's still okay though.
Yeah.
Should be at least.
Yeah, it'd been nice for him to come down another couple feet, another foot at least, but he should be okay.
That was a little bit, maybe rushed a little bit.
He jumped up a little bit.
Yeah, and he's going to concede that one.
Yeah, he's a little frustrated, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's been playing pretty
Pretty solid.
controlled. Yeah, he's very in control, it seems like. So that can get a little frustrating if you're playing, somebody that's doing that, and then also you're making a few unforced errors.
Yeah, I'm not. Marty played in our U.S. Open qualifier last weekend. I don't know how he finished. Do you?
I think he finished 13th through 16th, just
Okay.
one in the money. But yeah, Paul and I were talking about the fact that they're really good friends, and he's only a 544 Fargo, but apparently that's way
Well,
lower than what he actually plays.
He's not a 544 Fargo.
Yeah.
It's just another example of Fargo being inaccurate on a very good player.
Yeah.
So I mean, watching his matches and so on, he is easily a 630 plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
And all the way up to maybe 670.
Mm-hmm.
That 30 point range. I haven't seen enough yet, but with the small sample size, that's what I've seen. So,
I'd say that's a fair assumption.
I hope Fargo can figure out a way to not let these things happen, because that would, at Chinook Winds, if he were to go play at Chinook Winds, it puts him in a division that he will crush.
Yeah, he'd torture the whole field.
And so, I don't need to talk about that, the whole Fargo thing and stuff, but I hate to see it. So,
yeah, that's the thing. I think they're trying to get more data in the system, which will help with that. So, it's just going to be a little bit of a longer process to get it more accurate.
But there's many, many more behind him at all levels that are in the wrong divisions because of their inaccuracy with Fargo and everything else. So
yeah, and I think that one thing that could counteract that a little bit is league operators or established players in different areas being a voice on the starter ratings that these players are given, to put them at a little more where their speed should be.
Yeah, but you got league operators that are the equivalent of a 300-400 Fargo. They don't know.
Yeah.
So that raises a whole other issue.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah. At that point, you have to fall back on, the higher rated players to do the job.
Yep. It's just not. There's not a great way to deal with it right now, and that's why it's so inaccurate. So now it's Wade, right?
Yep.
So,
Wade.
So Wade's in a spot here.
Yeah, it's almost like
you might have to just slow roll this and knock the 2 to the side rail and let him go.
Yeah. Just try to use the 9 as a blocker.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but thought there was a better option hitting that a little bit softer. Marty's got a lot of options here now.
Yeah.
What do you like to do in this spot?
Well, I figure you can either play a shot where you're putting the 2 down, next to the 3 and just
Correct.
creating distance, or it's definitely a makeable shot with inside, and you can come kind of twice across, so you're hitting both long rails and then playing the 3 in the corner as we're facing it. That's kind of the aggressive move, but what do you think?
I think the better option is to dump it down to the end rail and maybe try to get behind that 4 ball and use that 4 ball as a blocker.
Yeah.
He went the other way. And
oh, okay. That was actually pretty effective.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not sure if that was what he was intending to do.
It worked, but he doesn't know
nice.
that 2 ball's going there.
Yeah.
So.
He was just focused mainly on cue ball there.
Yep.
And it worked out. Wade's got a little bit of a jump shot here. He can clip the left side of this too. And he did. And he's going to leave a shot, but not easy position on this. So.
No, position's tough on this one.
You go all out and try to run into that 7.
Yeah, a little outside English and hope you hit maybe half ball in that 7.
Yeah.
Full ball, and if you do that and cinch this 2 ball, then the rack should be yours.
Yeah.
But you got to hit it full. We'll see what he decides. Cue ball's going to have a little speed on it. Well, he
Okay.
chose a different path, but
He was trying to draw above it and play it in the same pocket, maybe.
yeah, I don't know. But he hit it fat, so if he hits it thin, maybe it does run into the 7. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Well, Wade does have an opportunity. This match is definitely not out of his grasp by any means with the winner break format, so he's just got to.
No, I've seen him play before. He played at Snoqualmie when we ran that first casino event, and he did pretty well in the singles. He beat Damien. He beat maybe Danny and Stan. He beat a bunch of really good players. Yeah, he finished
That's good for him.
He finished like top 4 in a pretty stacked field.
Nice. Yeah, he's solid. He's also a really nice guy. So a pleasure to play a guy like that. That pushes you, and they're also not sharking you or anything like that. He's just jumping over the edge of the ball here. Ooh, good try.
Yeah, he hit it pretty good.
Yeah. And it looks like Marty can just roll forward a few inches, and he's going to have that 3 in the side, and this rack should be pretty much over.
He's got a little angle on the 2, which is going to give him more angle, but I think he's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have very much help from Portland here this weekend, do we?
I think it's just me and you and
the Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper. Yeah. Yeah, he had a tough early match against Eric Vargas, and a couple things didn't go his way, but he's very equipped to make a backside run.
Yeah, Mike's been playing good lately, so he's going to have to figure the break out, and
Yeah.
He being on the backside, he might get some matches that he gets little softer opponents, and he can get in stroke and get some confidence going. So it's tough to come out of the gate playing a really good player, and losing. But it's the felt is a little different than it normally is. They've got a little thicker nap on it.
Yeah.
Normally these things are lightning fast.
Yeah, they play a little bit slower for sure, but I think once you dial the speed in, I really like how they play. So it's just those few game adjustments that a lot of players are going to need.
So watching Marty's fundamentals and his cue ball, mostly his cue ball, I'll bet on that 544 anytime.
Yeah, I know.
How about you?
Absolutely. Yeah, his approach to every shot is very similar, so he's not rushing anything. His pace is pretty much the same. He's looking at where he needs to be.
Yeah.
He's not going to make too many errors on open tables by doing that. So.
And we, I talked with you on the way over either this morning or yesterday, and I talked about Paul's approach to the table.
Yeah.
And the fact that he really looks at his angles and everything, and Marty's doing the same thing, and it makes sense that they're friends.
Yeah.
And Paul has probably worked with him some.
Absolutely.
Is what I would imagine.
No, absolutely.
So you can see it. You can see his mannerisms and approach to the table with the technical aspects.
Yep. I ended up playing him in that qualifier, and one thing I really liked about his game, just from like an outside perspective, is his mental game seems really strong. He never really got rattled, even though, maybe he missed a couple of shots he shouldn't have.
Right.
And it's tough to play against somebody like that, because the second you start seeing someone maybe going down a path of negative energy and they're getting down on themselves, it's almost like opening the door for you to steal the match away. But yeah, he doesn't really do that much. He's a nice out there. One thing that Paul and I were talking about is the fact that he's been a little loose with his cue ball on the break. So look for him to maybe tweak a few things in these next couple breaks that he has to try to get a little bit better shot on the one ball,
Yeah, and I noticed in your match, the key on this with this magic rack is the wing ball is going to go in almost from anywhere.
Yeah.
And from where you were breaking, your one ball, you weren't getting the opportunity to shoot it in the hole. It was sitting on the end rail and in spots.
Yep.
And when Jeff broke, he broke over a little more like a 10 ball, about a diamond out.
Yeah.
And he got the cue ball he was shooting the one ball in the corner every time.
Yeah.
So when you guys were at 7-7 and he was breaking,
it wasn't looking good.
I thought you were in trouble.
Yeah.
Because he had momentum. He had come back from behind. He was breaking better than you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
he had to make a couple mistakes to let you get to the table to, take that match, which happened, and you got out and did what you were supposed to. But from his break to the momentum and everything, I thought you were the underdog at that spot.
I think you're right. Yeah, and I felt that way.
Yeah. But
and in the beginning of the match, I was making the wing ball and the one ball, and then just kind of lost the speed a little bit on that one ball.
Right.
So yeah, definitely something I got to work on, and of course in some of these matches we're not going to have the magic rack, so it's going to be.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I saw some people breaking with just the wood rack. Maybe that's just because they didn't have one with them, but.
Yeah, they probably just didn't have one or what have you, but that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, it is. Well, what do you do here?
It looks like you can make the ball, so
okay.
Just like a soft spinner.
Yeah,
unless
out for the side.
Unless I'm seeing it wrong. He just hit it too hard.
He wants it to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he had the same. He could have done that, hitting it, half the speed and shoot the 3 ball on the side.
Yeah.
Unless I didn't see the angle.
Yeah, it's tough to see from here a little bit.
You can get camera hooked. So I could have been camera hooked on that one, but and maybe the 3 goes past that 6, so maybe he just hit it a hair too hard. But I think he's in lay down mode possibly here, thinning it and using that 5 ball as a blocker.
Yep, I agree.
He's looking at green light maybe, but I don't know. I'm looking at the monitor. We don't have the monitors in front of us, which sometimes is tough. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we can see it.
He might be able to spin that into the corner. It's hard to say.
I kind of like your shot, just a nice slow spin and going behind the 5 and just leaving the 3.
Use the 6. So he went all out and he made a nice shot. Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, now he's just smooth sailing from here.
Yep.
Just bounce out to the middle of the table. Not quite, but then you're shooting the 6 in the other corner. And
yeah, he can land on either the A side or the B side on this one. And the worst place to land here would be dead straight.
Yeah.
So just don't get dead straight on this ball.
It almost looks like he's putting a little inside on this.
He might be trying to kill it just a little bit, but oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought he could have just floated that a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely had the angle. He needed to hit that half the speed.
But his shot making so far has shown us that this shouldn't really be a problem for him.
I don't know about him, but it'd be a problem for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be loving it.
I don't see how you can be in love with this particular shot.
Yeah, he's just going to go a little low inside and put it down to that bottom right-hand corner pocket.
Probably a ball pocket, and he is.
Nice shot.
Now, that part I think is a mental error. If you're going to go all out at that ball, why hit it that soft?
Yeah, you want to get
got way too much distance
closer.
Here. Yeah, so if you commit to that shot, don't, because he's like 3 feet from where he should be with Whitey. Mm-hmm. He'd like to be down there so he can just pull back with the 7 and the 8 in the side and so on.
Yeah.
So I just think that's a mental error, or maybe nerves, deceleration a little bit.
Could be.
Could be the other thing.
Now he just has to focus on just pocketing this ball and knowing that he's going to have to go up table and back down in the side,
Oh, that's the first one I've seen him miss.
Yeah. Well, and it all came from, like you said, just not
being
being 100%
his
committed
position
on that shot. Yeah.
So, and I don't know. I don't think that 6 ball was a nervy shot, so I think he just didn't get the position down.
Yeah. It's a big big turn of events here for Wade. You know, rather than being down 7-2, he's going to be 6-3 and breaking. So.
Well, Wade's going to have to put some ketchup, mustard, and enchilada sauce on this. He's going to pull back to the rail that he's at with a ton of spin and speed, I believe. And
yeah, little inside.
just like this.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that'll work. I don't think he needed the enchilada sauce, but he needed the ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, he did. All right, 6-3.
Well, he's hanging in there.
Yeah.
You don't want your opponent to see 7 and 8. So
No.
he needs to steal another 2 or 3 games easily.
But you have to understand and kind of have in the back of your mind that with the winner break, even if you get down 3 games, you're by no means out of the match, and you just gotta like believe in yourself, you know, that you can come back from anywhere. So.
Well, you'd like to put your opponent in the chair for a while.
Yeah.
You know.
Ideally, for sure.
So as this tournament goes on, I predict that some of the better players are going to dial in that break, and instead of running 1s and 2s, they'll start running 2s to 4s.
Yeah.
And you put 2s and 4s on your opponent, and that's gonna bode pretty well for you.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely send a message too.
So looks like Wade is using the new break cue.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of the users in the chat have also used it. I'd be curious to see what their opinion is of it. Whenever you have new equipment like that, there's kind of a buzz in the pool community about it.
Yep. What's your opinion on this new carbon fiber revolution? What are you using?
I'm using the Revo 12.4, and I'm using the BK Rush. I made the switch over from a wood shaft from the Mez X Pro, and I felt like it really improved my game. Maybe a little bit of it is mental, but I think a lot of it is also the equipment and just how consistently it performs with, you know, spin shots and
right.
And you know, when you got to power around the table with a lot of English. So, what about you?
Well, being a retail dealer and having accounts with all these people making these carbon fiber shafts, I've hit with everything on the market, which is about 9 different brands now. I'm still using the Predator Z shaft.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm waiting for Peach Hour, Mez, and we've got an account with BQ. So I'm going to wait for those 3 to show up, and I'll probably throw one in my bag probably a month from now.
Nice.
Yeah. I just still feel that the carbon fibers play a little stiff for some of the touchy one pocket and bar box shots that you have to execute.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, the stuff on the market plays a little stiff. And maybe I might stick with the Z shaft even after these other ones. I give them a test run. So it's a personal thing. I know some of the top pros. Some went to Revo and then, or carbon fiber, and then went back. Joshua Filler did.
Yeah.
But if all I did was play rotation, and that was my go-to game, and all I played, I would have already had a carbon fiber in my bag, because it plays really good in rotation and striking the cue ball.
For sure.
So. Well, I can't see what Marty's got here, but we're going to find out in a sec. He might be trying to hide behind the pile a little bit and go 3 rails with Whitey. No, he goes the other way.
Oh, that was actually a pretty...
It was creative.
Yeah, creative.
You can still see it, so it didn't do much. But either way, he did put distance on Wade here, and, you know, nobody has to fall in love with this particular shot.
Yeah.
And play shape.
Yeah, it can be a little daunting sometimes when you have a cluster of balls like that, like those 5 balls. But if you just take a minute and kind of connect the dots, you realize that he gets good on this 2 ball. He should be able to maneuver pretty well with this layout.
The 2 ball's not the key. The 3 is, in my opinion.
Of course, yeah.
So it's kind of in the middle of the pack there and everything else. So I think he has to run into the 3 on this, or Another good shot might be to roll into the face of the 2 ball and freeze him up on the back of that 6.
Okay, I like that.
So
Yeah, that's a smart shot.
He's got a high cue ball. He might be doing that, trying to freeze on that 6 right here. Nope, he went all out.
Oh,
All right.
wow, he went right through the window there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from here whether it's shoot or play safe. That was probably the right shot. These pockets are a little bit bigger.
Oh, he played that well. Now it's just all about keeping angle on this 5 so he can get back over onto the 6.
Yeah, you just can't get straight. You get straight on that 5 and you're going to start shooting trick shots.
Yeah.
No need for trick shots with a 5 ball out.
Exactly. This would be a big confidence builder for Wade if he could run this out. Close the gap a little bit more.
So with the people watching the stream right now, how many of you have an opinion on the carbon fiber? How many of you are using Revo or one of the other ones? Let us know what you think.
Absolutely. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in to support this great event. It's a great annual event. Brings a lot of good players, and this year we got 104 or something, so pretty stout.
I thought it was 102, but it might have changed back to 104.
Yeah.
So,
and we'd also love to thank some of our sponsors for this event. Jam Up Apparel. We got the NWPA, Bad Boys. We got Julie Lang.
Yeah, it's Julie Lang from the Cascade team.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to say her name wrong, but I've heard you guys talk about her before.
Yeah, and then we've got Bad Boys and the Billiard Shopping Network.
Nice.
there you go.
And of course you guys too for streaming it.
Yeah.
Which is huge. So
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate everybody supporting this event and also everybody watching.
Oh,
man.
It slipped in.
Yeah.
Well, he needed that. 7-3 compared to 6-4 is big.
Yep.
Big swing.
And he's breaking. He's getting a little momentum.
Yep.
Yeah, this is where, there's always, usually there's a turn some point in the match, and looks like this is it. At least that's what Wade is hoping for.
Yeah, because me and Carissa are Predator dealers, Peach Hour dealers, and we carry a lot of the carbon fiber product. I will get students and stuff that will come in wanting, believe it or not, a 314 or a Z shaft. And so it is a couple $100 difference to upgrade to the carbon fiber. But just this week, I don't know, we sold about 4 or 5 different carbon fiber shafts.
Nice.
And each person that came into the shop to test it, once they tested it and saw how much spin they could get on it and this and that, every one of them upgraded to the carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that decision 100%.
And I wasn't trying to push it. I was just letting them know the difference and be able to test it. And every one of them liked the carbon fiber better than the traditional Z shaft and 314s.
Yeah.
So we've got a response from Robert Lavala. He said he chatted with Chris Melling in Vegas at the Predator booth, and he recommends it totally. He tried it. Robert tried it and really liked the feel of it, but haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
And
go ahead.
Sven
Yeah.
Polinsky says,
Steven.
good job, Cole.
Thanks, Steven. Really appreciate it, man. Good shooting to you in that last tournament. You played jam up, as they say.
Jam up, huh? Hi, Sven. How are you?
Yeah, I wish you could be here. I know you would go deep in this field for sure, but hope you're having a good weekend either way. And Robert, yeah, I mean, it's a tough decision. You don't want to pull the trigger unless you're, absolutely certain. But just, having friends or different places you can go that, you can try it out, that's definitely very valuable. And,
Oh, that was a little stubbed our toe moment.
yep, that's a little
But yeah,
unfortunate.
as far as deciding which ones, if you were to ask Shane Van Boning, he's going to give you one answer that's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody, and Chris is sponsored by Predator and Revo, I believe.
Yeah.
So, you can get advice from these folks, but if they're sponsored, take it with a little bit of a grain of salt because you've only got one option in that spot.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of them play very comparable and close as far as playability. So
Yeah.
yep.
Yep, so many options. You kind of wonder where, the sport will be in 10, 20 years from now and, what the technology will look like then. But I'm sure there will always be the people that are diehard, wood shafts. They're never going to change, and nobody can tell them anything that'll make them change. So,
Well, the contrary to that is the fact that every golfer up until the 70s used wood and persimmon golf clubs.
oh, really?
Oh yeah, there was no metal-headed golf clubs. So once it started changing to titanium, carbon fiber, and all the different metals, every single wood persimmon, they called them persimmon drivers,
Yeah.
they all went away. They're gone. You're never going to see another wood driver or a wood club
Yeah.
ever again. So golf totally changed due to metal and technology. So, and it could happen to pool cues also. We don't know yet, but
Yeah.
it's trending towards that.
Yeah, it's an interesting time that we're living in for sure. You got to wonder if you go back, 50 years ago and give the players the technology that we have now and, how they would have performed differently or if it would have made them better players or it's kind of an interesting thought to have.
Well, one thing, it slipped by.
Yeah, he's
One
out.
thing for sure is the golfers back in the 50s were not driving the ball 400 yards down the fairway. Some of these pros now, McIlroy and such, they'll average 310, 320 on their average drive.
Yeah.
So, and so it's hard to say what it'll do to pool. But I think the BK Rush definitely has made a difference in the break. I think it's by far the best break cue out there.
I agree.
And we now have the Q-Tech Breach, and that's getting played by Shane and many players. And
Yeah, probably Billy Thorpe, who just took on a sponsorship from Q-Tech. So.
and also they're coming out with Q-Tech's coming out with a jump cue. And everybody that's tested it, including myself, just raves about it. It's called Propel, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll be on the market in October.
Nice.
But it was absolutely amazing. So
That's awesome. Yeah, it's good when a really good product comes out like the BK Rush, and then that automatically creates competition. From the other companies, they have to kind of catch up and put out a product that is going to compete with it. So
while we've been running this carbon fiber commercial and and everything else,
yeah,
Wade is slowly sneaking back into this match. So
yeah,
now it's a dogfight.
It is, yeah.
It
and
was
now
what was it 6-2?
6-2, about to be 7-2, and he just missed that 7 ball, and
Yeah.
now it's 6-5, and Wade's breaking. So Marty just has to stay mentally focused. He can't let it affect him because it's going to be in his mind a little bit that he gave it up, but all he can do is just focus on his next opportunity at the table. So.
Well, what do you like here, partner?
Well, with Wade's momentum, this bank looks pretty straight on, and granted he is jacked up, so that could affect his decision, and maybe it's not the right decision to take it on, but he's definitely eyeing it, I can tell. So probably the better shot, higher percentage shot, is to duck, and
He's going all in.
yeah, he went for it,
And he put it in a spot that it might have played a little bit two-way, but I thought one might still go by that 8.
yeah.
So it could cost him. The safety might have been the prudent shot to run Whitey down below the 9 on the end rail and just let your opponent go.
Yeah.
Sometimes just one shot in a match like that, going for a shot like that, might be the end of the set.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I've had it happen. It's happened to me many times.
Yeah, and playing opponents where they are capable of, ending the set on one mistake, it's definitely a humbling thing, and also it really makes you pay attention next time you're in that situation.
I'm not sure what Marty's doing here. I'm not sure if that one ball goes or not.
I think it does, yeah.
We're going to find out in a second.
I think it squeezes by.
No, he went to safety town.
I think he got somewhat good on that. So
yeah, he was fortunate that the ball's blocked up, but I didn't mind the shot.
Yeah,
I think that's a shot I would have chosen that spot. He might be slow rolling this one ball past that too. I think it goes past. Just like that.
nice. Even if he misses it,
Nice
he's
little
leaving
two-way.
it. Yep.
Yep.
And Marty's going to have to bust out the short cue for this one, I think. A little tough because he's left-handed, so he's kind of leaning over the table.
He doesn't like that left-handed angle, and I'm not sure I've seen anybody jump with their opposite hand.
Yeah, I definitely am not comfortable enough to do that.
Maybe you should practice that.
Yeah, I probably should.
Well, with that in mind, and the jump shot not possible, he's going to have to swing
two
rails between the 4 and 5. He's looking like there's a gap between there. Yeah, maybe there is. I'm looking at the monitor. He can see the edge straight at it. You just don't know where things are going, though.
Yeah, you just hope to leave him distance on this one.
Maybe rail first and try to stick the cue ball.
Yeah, that could definitely work.
So once again, we're going to find out. Yeah, he tried to stick it.
Ooh.
And
not too bad from where he was at.
Yeah, he got some distance.
I think he might find himself married behind the 6 after this shot, but
yeah, I don't think there's enough pocket there. It looks like there's maybe 3/4 pocket.
yeah,
It's hard to say.
you can just use a little backside carom on this and go right behind that 6 in that gap and just freeze him up. If it's not there, it looks like he might be shooting at it.
Yep, he went all out at it. That should win the game.
Yeah, that's definitely the preferred route if you can do that.
I think he could just soft spin this 2 ball with a little bit of left and just kill it and take his angle on the 4.
Yeah, this is it's tough when your opponent grinds back and makes it an even match. You really got to be mentally tough, not let it get to you.
That's when you look back at those couple times where you stubbed your toe when you were pretty much dead out. You go, man,
Yeah,
this is my fault. All he needs to do is make sure he gets angle on that 6 here.
yeah.
And should be good.
Well, that's a little too much angle.
That's a lot too much angle. Wow.
Yeah, he's ducking here, I think.
I'm really surprised that I saw that, but I think he just took it for granted. Looks like he just got up and 2-stroked it.
Yeah, he's going to bunt the 6 over to the opposite rail.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think I think he rushed those 2 shots a little bit. So
Yeah. Marty's going to swing at this 6 ball,
yeah,
and he's happy to be shooting rather than having the game tied 6-6. Actually.
yeah. I think you just have to bear down and just kind of a pinch with a little low right. Hold the cue ball for the 7.
A pinch.
A little pinchy.
Huh.
If the angle's there.
Is that a pool term? Pinch.
Yeah, pinch it.
Pitch or pinch?
Pinch.
Like baseball pitch?
No, like pinch, like PIN.
I'm just messing with you. Okay.
Oh man, he hit it. He hit it as good as you could to leave this situation.
Well, Wade's looking to see if he can see that edge to make it. Not sure if he can. No,
Yeah.
he's going to put some twist and shout on it. And, God, I just thought he shot it too soon again.
Yeah.
I thought he pulled the trigger too soon.
It's kind of been the theme of the match a little bit.
You can't hit that, make those little mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is going to be big if Marty can get out here.
What do you like to do? You like to get fairly straight on that 7 and just go to the end rail and out? Or do you like to swing 3 rails?
I like to swing. Yeah, I like to just get, towards the rail, and then you make the 7, and it's...
Yeah, but see that 9 ball?
Yeah, but as long as you come tight into the corner, I mean, there's
Right.
no real way you can scratch in the
Right.
side, so you're going to avoid that 9. But the only real concern is maybe getting on the rail, I think. But the 8's, pretty manageable from anywhere, so...
He's got like a middle ball. I think he's going around the 9 in the side pocket.
Okay.
See it?
Yeah, I see.
Maybe not. No, he went the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to get straight in on the rail.
That's not where he wants to be.
Yeah, in that situation, you almost want to come to the diamond in between the middle diamond and the side pocket and just let it bounce out. But
I think a better option, he stayed over on that side of the table and just kind of general areaed his position. If he'd have come down here and saw that, in my opinion, that either to leave it short or long, but don't leave it where he left it.
yeah.
But he didn't look at it.
Yeah, it's the tough thing about rotation is you find yourself getting straight on balls you shouldn't a lot, and everybody does it. But
even though he hit that okay, I don't think I'd bet your money on this shot.
yeah, I mean, I think I'll bet you $1 he makes it. How about that?
Well, we've got to eat dinner tonight too.
Okay, maybe.
When we go,
$2. Fine.
when we go check into the hotel, they're going to have food. And they got a casino.
I'll give you a couple bucks for the vending machine. How about that?
$2. All right,
Okay.
$2. Somebody's going to get stuck here.
Yeah. All right.
I got
You're
your
eating good.
$2. I got your $2. I'm going to take that $2 and stick it in the first slot machine or
Yeah.
whatever they have at that darn casino at our.
You're not going to have me sign it and put it in your wallet?
No, you don't need to
Okay.
sign it. Next time.
Okay. Fair enough.
I bet Wade makes this one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
Double up?
Nah, yeah,
No.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
But talk about drama in this rack, I mean,
Wow.
there was so many swings in that rack, and I think Wade's got to be feeling pretty good for Marty not to get out with those 4 balls.
I think the momentum's changed. If I were to pick a winner here, I'd pick Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really would. The momentum's changed, and now Marty's second-guessing himself. And, these are not small pockets. They're pretty good size. And the ball, it didn't even threaten the pocket.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think his mental toughness will definitely have to show itself in these next couple racks. Although he's made a couple mistakes, I know based on watching him before, he's definitely capable of just putting it in the back of his mind and just doing what he has to do, even with the mistakes he's made. So
now, are the players required?
You're here when this is done. Just like
All right. So, are they requiring you to put the 2 in the back of the rack?
you are.
Yes? Okay. Because I saw him move the 2 back to the back.
Yeah, it definitely changes things when that 2's put back there.
Yep, a little bit. That's a new rule. That wasn't a rule or anything of the kind 20 years ago, at least not that I'm aware of. That's a new thing, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, what is the reasoning for it?
I have no idea. I really don't. Because it's not like you're playing to make the back ball.
Yeah, it's more, I think, like a position thing. You know, if you're pattern racking in any way and you're making that wing ball and almost, you know, playing position for the two, maybe that's a way to kind of thwart that in some way.
But you know where it's at.
Yeah.
So that's.
But it's going to get kissed around, you know, more being back there. So
I would like to find out who implemented that particular rule and why.
yeah,
That's all. You know, I mean, I don't care
I'm
either way.
interested too.
Yeah.
I really am. So
I'm not sure whether it's a matchroom thing or a BCA thing or ouch.
Or that is going to hurt.
Yeah, that's why I said ouch. I felt that one.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are going to get a roll like that.
Yeah.
So I've never got a roll like that. I'm always the guy shooting now type of deal.
Yeah.
So. They were going to put myself and Stephen Weekly on the streaming table next. But then they found out that I think Eric Vargas and somebody else they were going to put on there. So it's hard for four of us. We'd have to play a ring game.
That would be tough.
Yeah. In a singles tournament, a ring game, I'm not sure how we score that.
Yeah.
So
just give you all the points and call it good, right?
Sure. But it looks like they're going to put Eric Vargas and his opponent on this table next, and they're gonna send me and Steven out to pasture, as they say.
Okay.
Maybe we belong out there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure, but
well, that should be a good match between you and Steven.
Yeah, he's one of the top players from this area.
Yeah.
And he has a fairly last I saw his Fargo was somewhere in the 680 range.
Yeah.
So and that's a pretty good range.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Wade is going to take a 7-6 lead after being down 6-2. So this is.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah.
And you know, I said he had some momentum, so here we go. I like the guy with the momentum.
Yeah.
Ebb and flow, and Marty over there is talking to his tip. You know, he might be mad at it. It's not performing correctly.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
That's definitely a thing.
You know, so
Wade definitely has a very focused look on his face. He's, you know, his brows are furrowed, and he's doesn't seem to be messing around at this point. So.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of information on him. Again, Snoqualmie, he played there, did well in the singles, and he was in that event going to play three-person team with Jeff Boucher.
Oh, okay.
But the rules were, and we had to enforce them because he plays Jeff Boucher's speed when he's playing all the time. And so for two players, that's basically two grandmaster, whatever you want to call it, on one team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And me and Danny Louie felt that might not be fair to the rest of the field, so we had the team make adjustments and so on. But so I have seen him one time before, and maybe another time here. But he's a very capable player.
Absolutely.
And so, as soon as I say something like
commentator
curse, yeah, commentator curse,
yeah,
camera hooked, and commentator curses.
Those situations where, you know, team events and making it fair, it's kind of a tough thing. I definitely wouldn't want to be in charge of, you know, setting the caps and all that.
It has to be done, though. You have to make decisions to make sure that the other 15 or 100 players don't feel cheated by a team that kind of bent the rules a little bit. So it's really hard to make all those decisions, and they're not fun, but they have to be made
Totally.
for the betterment of the game and the players.
Yep.
So Marty's got a shot here. He's gonna have to go rail first here and combo this in.
Yeah.
Safety's no good, right?
And then the 4 is naturally tracking towards that other corner if you play it with that speed.
Little high ball on the cue ball. He's putting low on it.
Yeah, I think he just wants to stop it there. Oh,
Yep.
wow, he hit that great.
Worked really good.
Good job, Marty.
So Marty gets anywhere on this 5 ball, and it's called connect the dots.
Yeah.
Stop, stop, stop.
Yeah, the only problem
So-
is he's left-handed, so he's going to be using the bridge on this shot.
Well, players of this speed should be accomplished at using that little thing with the little claws on it, and so on and so forth, even though a lot of us hate it.
Yeah, I think the only way you can go wrong here is, trying to like put some outside or some inside English and go 1 rail up, and the cue ball could maybe die off that bottom rail, and then you're left with a.
Boy, is he trying to swing this 2 rails?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, he hit it okay, though.
8 ball.
Oh. I hit one of those last weekend, and I missed the ball.
Yeah.
A bridge trying to power
yeah.
it 2 rails, it came out ugly.
Yeah, I mean, those bridges, there's a few, pro players like Alex and Corey that they play just as good with that bridge as they do with their playing cue.
The other option on that, he would have been a lot safer with a high ball. He wouldn't have ran into trouble.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to correct his error here. Let's see what he's got.
I think you can just cut this right in.
Are you cutting this in?
Yeah, I would.
Well, you almost have to, don't you?
Yeah. And you aim to maybe overcut it. That way, if you miss the ball, you're leaving on that end rail.
Oh, it came in fat.
Where's cue ball going?
Yeah. That could leave a mark.
Yeah.
And should. All right, Wade just needs to focus and pocket this ball and put Whitey somewhere in the middle of the table, huh?
Yep.
Just like that.
Nice shot.
And we don't have the connect the dots anymore since the 8 ball is moved, but I'm pretty sure he'll come over, take a look,
Yeah.
and take a look at what a stop shot looks like and what he might do with that. So
Yeah, personally, I like maybe drawing this back to the middle of the table. Give
Yeesh.
yourself a few more options. If you just stop it there and you're maybe on the rail or got a bad angle, it makes it pretty tough.
yeah, he stopped it. Sometimes
just estimate.
less is better.
Yeah. It's all personal preference, I think.
Yep.
Just draw this over the rail.
So talking about that momentum thing, here we are, and he's going to be firing at a 9 ball to go up 8-6, and he was ahead 6-2.
Yeah.
Marty was, right?
Yep, 6 straight.
I think that's a momentum change.
Yeah, a little bit.
And he hasn't had a ton of opportunities. Oh, he's going to get another one here.
Oh, man.
Wade slipped and bumped his head. Not happy about it.
Yeah,
Well, he didn't really bump his head. It's just kind of a saying, kind of
Yeah.
like he made a mistake, you know.
exactly.
Well, you didn't comment or anything, so
Oh,
I figured
I just,
you know.
I thought you knew what I was thinking, so I didn't.
No,
I didn't need to.
no, you know.
All right, he's got a bear down here.
Oh,
this is huge. This
yep.
is beyond huge.
Looks like he's going to use the low ball and swing the rock 2 rails with some speed and power here.
Yeah.
Try to cinch it.
Ooh, caught the backside of the pocket there.
Big
The right side.
Paquito.
All right, folks, we got a 7-7 scoreline here.
We do.
I'm sure as this match nears an end, these players' heartbeats are going to be pumping a little bit faster.
I got to go play a match is what I got to do.
Oh, okay.
Not
Right now?
well, not this instant.
Oh, okay.
I think they're probably waiting for me to finish this before they scream and holler. But
Yeah.
although they didn't care with Paul, they just said, Patier, go play. So no regard for him over here trying to talk about pool. My cord's all messed up. I don't know what's going on here. I'll be okay, but
Yeah.
it's like I got a steering wheel.
All right, Marty. This is, crucial break.
7-7 going to 9. Best of 3.
Yeah, I think you got to like the guy breaking and making 3 balls on the break. 4 balls.
Man.
And a nice little spot shot to open things up. I think he can avoid the 9 here and just come 2 rails to the center of the table.
This is a tough shot. This is a very, very tough shot because I think a high ball might hit the edge of the 9.
Yeah.
And if you have to elevate or change that line to control your cue ball to get to the middle of the table and not go all the way up table.
Yeah.
Oy, 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 oy. I'm glad he's shooting it, not me. It looks a little sticky.
Yeah, he's taking his time,
Yeah,
rightfully so.
He doesn't like it either. So you could hit this at, about warp speed, and it will avoid that 9.
Yeah,
And you can alter it, but that means you're going to have to swing around the table, too.
he's going low.
Maybe he's trying to just twist it in and drag his rock. Yep. Now, do you think he was playing safe there?
No, I think he was.
I think he was going for it, and he just missed it that bad, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
By trying to avoid that 9 and put that low outside spin, he missed it by 3/4 of a diamond.
Yeah, and that could have came from maybe not being 100% committed to the shot.
Oh, of course.
And,
of course.
a little tentative on his backstroke, but.
Well, Wade made the decision. He's going to go for this 3 ball.
Nice shot, Wade.
Now, I like the speed that he put on that because it indicates that he was totally committed to it.
Yeah.
He didn't do like Marty did and try to twist and drag. And
Yeah.
a lot easier to pocket balls when you totally commit to that stroke and speed.
Absolutely.
And he's in a tough spot here. Is he going to bank safe or go for this combo?
I think he's going all out for the combo.
Boy, for as hard as that shot is, I believe taking a little more time on it would have been a little more advantageous.
Yeah, advisable.
I don't know. You can look at a ball too long, too, though, can't you?
You can, definitely.
So what's right, what's wrong?
Yeah, and really that was just kind of a low percentage shot, so.
But earlier I saw him shoot a couple shots where he made mistakes where I thought he pulled the trigger too soon.
Yeah.
And didn't dial it in.
All right, Marty has just a massive opportunity here. Draw this back and get good on the 7, and
Oh, he slid over. Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
You make this shot, the rack's over, so.
Yep, and I think he's got the angle. He can just stop.
Yeah.
7 ball's a tough shot, or tougher, but stop.
And this has been a great match so far, just with all the little swings and the drama. It's always fun to watch close matches between good players, so. I'm excited to see what happens here.
So Frankie Kinsel's in the chat room, but where is he?
Where are you at, Frank?
Frank, where are you? Man, you're almost always here. It ain't the same without you,
I know.
without that smiling face.
We're missing you, buddy.
All right, fine.
Meanwhile, that was a nice little
Stop.
stop shot.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop.
And he's going to concede that one.
And Wade is going to give him that hanger in the side. I
Right.
wouldn't have given that to me.
You wouldn't?
I'd have made myself shoot it.
All right.
Wouldn't you?
Well, next time it's there, I'm making you shoot it.
No. If I was giving it to myself.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. I see.
You don't
would've-
have,
yeah,
you
you
make
would've
me
shot
shoot
it.
that, and I'm going to knock you on the top of the head.
Well, maybe I wasn't paying attention. Didn't see that it was there.
Maybe I'll go sit in my chair until you concede that
Oh,
ball,
okay.
that one that's in the jaws.
All right. I see what's going on.
What do you think? I'm going to hit it like an APA 2 and like follow it in?
You know, if that happened, I might have to just follow you around for the rest of your life and just talk about it a little
There you
bit here
go.
and there.
Talk about that when I followed in.
Yeah. No, I've missed some pretty routine nines
Oh,
like that.
yeah, we all have. I'm just funning a little bit. So
Yeah. Are you what's your philosophy on conceding balls like that? Like even, let's say not that easy, but straight in and, relatively
well,
close to the pocket.
it depends. We have run events before where we announced that there's no conceding balls.
Uh-huh.
I think the U.S. Open last year had us not concede any balls, correct?
Yep.
So I believe at the higher level, when you are promoting the sport, that'd be like a drag race or something where the guy could go down and stop short of the finish line just because he was ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, you could relate it to a lot of sports.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, if you're shooting a lay-in, if you miss it, it's okay. You were right there.
Yeah. No,
So
I like that.
they don't, they don't. What other sport at the highest level do they do that?
Not
they
any,
don't.
Yeah.
None.
And it's seen as a sign of respect, but I am more of your attitude where it shouldn't really be a thing.
So if it's a local league and it's smaller tournaments and things that are, maybe a hair more casual, but at the U.S. Open level and anything that is streamed or where you have your top players of the sport, I don't think you should ever let them concede balls.
Yeah,
ever.
I agree.
So, because what about the guy that just turned the tube on and sees them not shoot the last ball and says, well, what are they playing? Or what about the
Yeah.
people new to the sport that don't, get confused? I remember having a relative come to California Billiard Club once, saw me playing one pocket, had no idea what game we were playing, seeing that, it was pretty confusing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you have to take the people that are watching, and you want the sport to grow and you want them to understand, what's going on.
I agree,
And
100%.
and two guys commentating one pocket for people that are new that don't understand the game because it's complicated.
Yeah.
Explain them what the game is once in a while, that type of thing. So, you have to look at the big picture. It's done both ways, but
Yeah, and I think, Paul and I were talking about it, how sometimes you even have guys conceding 3 or 4 balls if they're, out of frustration, and it almost puts your opponent in a state of, they're not really getting to let their stroke out all the way because they're only shooting half a rack, and then you're saying, okay, that's good. And, so maybe it's a sign of disrespect in that regard.
Well, I had Kim Davenport in a match in Reno one time concede the entire rack to me. It was like 8 balls. I make 2 on the break, and he just scraped them.
Yeah.
And part of that was he didn't want me to get in stroke. So that becomes a sportsmanship thing.
Yeah, for sure.
In that case, I believe that he should have been punished by the tournament directors because he intentionally was not letting me get to practice.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I appreciate the game, and I'm not going to turn it down, but there was a motive on why he did it.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, there's a lot of different twists. And Marty's trying to finish this set, isn't he? Let's get back to the ranch here.
The nitty gritty here. He's made some good shots so far.
Just a high ball, 7 in the side.
Yeah, I think.
Sound good to you?
He's going to spin around.
He wanted to spin around.
All right.
I think that's now. I think I would have this little magic rack depleted of its place
existence.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would too. You don't want to.
He's going to put a little draw and a little mustard and hot sauce on it again.
Yeah, and it's almost like a little stunning over.
Now let's see if
here.
we see it curl up a little bit. Didn't move too much,
No.
but I would have removed that thing.
Yeah, because now he has just a little bit too much angle on the
He's
shot.
gonna have to swing 2 rails.
Yeah, just a little bit below center on the cue ball and come back and shoot the 9 in the corner pocket closest to us.
Well, he got a few opportunities here towards the end, even though Wade had the.
Oh wow,
I'm surprised he did that, but
that worked out.
he did have the angle.
Yeah.
And once again, I'd be getting rid of that little magic rack.
Yeah.
You do not need that extra friction there.
No.
See that? All right. Good.
Alrighty, he's gonna hopefully take this match, and that's a big weight off his shoulders after, potentially losing a big lead in this match. So
Yeah, 6-2. And Wade came in to get a lead, so nice job by Marty to hopefully finish this off. Right there.
good job. All right.
All right,
Wade's
we're on to
gonna-
another match, and I'm
Yep.
going to depart because I'm going to have a match yell called anytime.
And
Okay,
yep,
thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right, so our next match is going to be Eric Vargas and Carl Tibbetts. So that was going to be called up here in just a couple of minutes. I am going to go offline and reset everything, and then we'll be back with the next match.